Last week here in the Sports Lounge, we thought it would be a pretty nondescript college football weekend, but we were wrong. A couple of undefeated top 10 teams are upset, starting with Wisconsin and Michigan State. A great finish in that game that we saw. Just you're kind of disappointed that Wisconsin season's kind of done now.
Oh, yeah. One loss, that's it. That's all we're going to allow you.
Unfortunately.
You lose that one game, yeah. But we'll put you in a nice bowl game. We'll get you a pair of Nikes. And
well, maybe. You're assuming they're going to win more games still.
Yeah, a couple CDs, you know, a bag of Doritos.
I had a nice rant on playoffs, but I'm done.
So, yeah, you really did. No, we're not going to get... Anyway, so, yeah, I feel bad for Wisconsin. I really do. They're a good team, and something crazy happens, and there goes their dreams.
Great game. It's a shame that it ended with an instant replay, but they got the call right, so that's good, I guess. And I'm glad Wisconsin lost because Wisconsin they know where to put it.
Yeah, Michigan State played really well. I mean, I thought, I thought Wisconsin was going to win. I think everyone thought Wisconsin was going to win for the most part. But yeah, I mean, I think they could have won in overtime if they wouldn't have taken that timeout, late in the game. Yeah. Michigan State was not running to the line. They looked very content to go to overtime, and Wisconsin said, you know what? We're going to get greedy and we're going to win this in regulation. And literally the worst case scenario for Wisconsin happened then.
But it would have been so cool if they'd have won in regulation, though.
Yeah.
After being down.
And Michigan State did win in regulation.
That's right.
So there you go.
Let's talk about
Wisconsin. Yeah.
I believe I called it. I said, I think Michigan State's going to win this in regulation. And sugar.
Not on the TV show, no documentation.
I know, that's what state. You're exactly right. I say it without cameras or without microphones, and it's like it doesn't even exist.
Yep.
Ironically, when I was at Skinner's right before they threw the Hail Mary, I said, you know what? This is worthless. I guarantee you that this is not going to work. And then, of course, so apparently I'm the only reason Michigan State won, despite me for doubting them to not get that last.
And the Badger Bar in Brookings erupted.
Skinner's Badger Bar, much to the chagrin of the Badgers.
Another top 10 team that lost, Oklahoma. They lose at home. Ends their big winning streak there. They lose to Texas Tech, 41-38, a game that most were probably watching and thinking, I don't care if they're up 20, 30 points. Oklahoma's going to come back and win. Well, they almost did. Not quite. They lose by 3.
Yeah, and Texas Tech is not really that good. That's a pretty bad loss. They clearly kind of overlooked them, I'm pretty sure, for about 2/3 of that game.
Yeah, because it wasn't even close at halftime. It was 35-7 or 30, right? Something like that. Something out of control. And Oklahoma down 10 with 2.5 minutes left, tries a short chip shot field goal upright, gets boinked, and that's all she wrote. Texas Tech, guns up for them, I guess.
Yeah, kudos to them to end Oklahoma's 39-game winning streak. I know Stoops' first year at Oklahoma was 99, and they went like 7-5 or something. But since then, he's only lost 3 games at home, and this was one of them. First home loss since the first game of the year in 05 to TCU. So, I mean, that is quite impressive because they play so well in the state of Oklahoma. So, once again, kudos to the Red Raiders and Tommy Tuberville.
If you watched the show last week, you saw that Marcus had a bold prediction. He put West Virginia on upset alert. And they got the hell knocked out of them by Syracuse.
You're going to show the tape?
And here's the tape right now,
Damn Marcus.
in case you didn't watch it. They won 49-23. Marcus, gloat for the next...
I'm gloating right now.
You're free to gloat.
Just a hunch, I guess, I had. And Syracuse, this is how I feel about the two teams. Syracuse, maybe on the up and up. They were in a bowl game last year. Played Kansas State and won because the Kansas State players saluted. And then West Virginia, Dana Holgerson, they're going downhill. That's the way I feel. So.
Interestingly enough, Kansas State also on the up and up.
Yeah, so that playing in the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium means you're going up.
Good omen.
That's a good omen for the first game.
Yes, whoever plays in it this year, we can dub as favorites for
East
the next
Carolina
season.
and Army. So
Army. Good selection of teams there.
I think that.
I like how he came up with that.
I think that Syracuse at least able to hold off the people ready to jump for basketball season for at least a couple weeks yet.
Mark it down. It will be Louisville and Texas Tech in the Pinstripe Bowl, and both will be very good next year.
I hope it is that matchup.
We'll have an extensive Pinstripe Bowl preview, it sounds like.
We will.
Whole season.
We will.
I won't have a lot of confidence points for that one. Feels like a toss-up already.
It does. Take Texas Tech. Minnesota, they started their rookie quarterback because why would they start the old guy that sucked for 6 weeks? He does pretty decently, almost leads them from a comeback down 33 to 16, I believe. 33, something like that. Who cares? They lose 33-27. Pretty decent. I'm excited about the future. Don't go nuts, people. It's one game. So obviously, if you didn't like him before, don't go all nuts because he did okay. But kind of level it off, your excitement.
I thought it was kind of an Adrian Peterson type comeback. He had a load of yards. I think though that Ponder played pretty well in his opener. I just think if you're a Vikings fan, you have to let's not over-evaluate Ponder's performances. He's a rookie. He's going to take his lumps, and this season's lost. Just kind of see what he does and kind of look forward to see if he develops into his second and third year and so forth.
Yeah, don't bother counting wins. Not important, really, because, like you said, the season is lost. And I thought he played pretty well, a lot better than Chunky Soup Guy.
Soup Guy.
Well, I think, but he did.
Chunky guy.
He looked like he knew what he was doing, and McNabb didn't.
McNabb played pretty well at right guard yesterday, though.
He did.
Pretty well.
Ponder wasn't he like 13 to 32 or something? I mean, he played his first start.
By comparison, he was better than McNabb.
Looking at the game.
This is all I'm going to say. I think he might be the guy going to the future. It's not that he looked awful by any means, but I'm not overly impressed. But, it was against a good Packers defense, so not horrible. We'll see if he can use this as a building block for the future.
Ultimately, we have to think about which team he's quarterbacking, and it is the Minnesota Vikings, so all bets are off.
If you look at just the stats, obviously you think McNabb did better. But if you watch the game, I think you're very surprised at how poor Ponder's stats are.
Poor.
But obviously stats don't tell the whole story. And despite the 2 interceptions to Charles Woodson, moved the ball, could run around a little bit, made plays with his feet.
Charles
Schwartzel. You said don't count the wins if you're a Viking fan. Just kind of go by what Ponder does. But if you're a Denver Bronco fan, start counting those wins in a row you're going to get because Tim Tebow is your quarterback and all he does is win. The first 3 quarters, very poor. Some of the worst quarterbacking I've ever seen.
Poor quarterback.
God-awful. 24 yards.
God-awful.
He leads the comeback there with 2 touchdowns at the end of the 4th quarter there, the 2-point conversion to tie the game. Great handoffs there at the end of the game to set up the field goal. All credit to Tebow. Why not? Credit for him for kicking the game-winning field goal. Tebow, unbelievable how all he does is just win at the end of the game.
And my brother lives in the Denver area. I haven't heard from him since the game got over. I'm beginning to get worried.
Put out an Amber Alert.
Well, he's like 27.
What's is there a guy? I know Amber Alerts for little kids, but there should be like an Amber Alert and a Doug Alert.
for adults, it's a Burgundy Alert.
Burgundy.
So more adult.
For boys, it's Scotty.
There's a little Scotty missing in the woods.
So, but I've texted him. I can only imagine there is like Woodstockian type activity going on in the Denver area right now. I'm guessing he probably just lost his cell phone in a porta potty or something.
There will be more people at that parade in Denver than at the Citrus Bowl parade.
Paint smeared on his face, all for Tebow. And when Tebow comes back, they're gonna have a downtown ticker tape parade. Unbelievable.
Tickling the tape.
Tickling the tape. Ticker tape parade in Miami as well because they lost another game.
Sucking for luckin'.
They did. I mean,
how happy are you?
I'm glad that they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. It looked like they were up, I think 13-0, something like
15.
that. 15-0, yeah. And I was actually pretty disappointed that my favorite team was winning. I was glad they lost though. So hopefully they can continue to lose and luck comes out and they can draft him then. I'm
just glad that the major sports networks are just going to let Tebow win.
They're not going to make much about it.
Or anything. They're not going to call him the best quarterback ever. They're not going to call him the worst quarterback ever.
I doubt they're going to bring Ed Werder in to do a personal interview.
We won't see Merrill Hodge talk about Tim Tebow at all. So that's good.
He was so bad the first 3 quarters.
He was.
I mean, I heard someone said he looked like a spread option quarterback. I disagree. He looked like a Navy triple option quarterback the first 3 quarters.
He looked like somebody.
But, played well at the very end and they won, so I guess that counts for something.
I think he kind of.
It counts for something. The people in Denver, like my brother who was missing, are any indication.
Thoughts and prayers with him. He kind of looked like somebody who was. They kind of invented the forward pass in the 20s and didn't quite know that was
He
legal.
kind of looked like that, yeah.
Shot putting it.
That's a great way to put it. He does kind of look like that first century
Caveman
first
quarterback.
incarnation.
It was
He looked like Sammy Baugh out there.
Yeah.
Well,
Singing!
a young Sammy Baugh before he got his accuracy down.
We all remember Y.A. Tittle, and I don't think we remember his older brother who played before him.
R.C. Tittle.
R.C. Tittle.
Kilgore.
Yeah, and Tittle used to just flip it right ahead. He had no idea how to throw the football. So, and then Y.A. came in and said, you don't know nothing about football.
You don't know this.
And you don't know.
I was so glad Newt Rockne taught him how to throw it forward.
Yep.
I think the problem with Y.A. Tittle is that he never gave R.C. Tittle a fair shake.
That's right. Well,
if
R.C. were just a few years younger,
He would have been way better than Y.A.
Yep.
Y.A. is just a jerk sometimes.
It is kind of a little bit.
We can all agree on that. And coming up next on the Sports Lounge, we'll discuss North Dakota State's defeat of South Dakota State here in Brookings on Saturday. South Dakota State, again, another week, another defeat for the football program, this time to North Dakota State. They had a golden opportunity there at the 1-yard line on their first drive, could not push it through, could not even get a field goal. Plenty of missed opportunities in that first half for the Jackrabbits.
I proposed what would happen to a football team like South Dakota State if they were to not commit a turnover. I got that wish, and you still have this milieu, not sure that's correct usage, this litany, this score of errors that kind of compile up into a couple of pick sixes, basically. We got that opening drive stall at the 1-yard line, missed the 18-yarder. You have a punt return for a touchdown. You have, and Stiegelmeier even said after the game that he questions the effort on that punt return by his special teams. So no turnovers, but still just a list of problems that have plagued that team all year. And they're stuck in it. They're kind of weak. Something goes bad, it all gets in their heads, and it just kind of snowballs from there.
We had heard all about how the special teams was kind of that steadfast group for the Jackrabbits. They missed 2 short field goals. They have a kickoff out of bounds. They make a couple other mistakes besides the punt return for the touchdown. Add into the fact that the defense played okay, but didn't really stop the Bison from doing what they wanted. And you have the offense who gets down near the goal line twice, doesn't score, and that's about it. But the backup quarterback at least was able to lead them to a touchdown. So take that for what it's worth. Well, I'll put it this way for Saturday's game. The players on the field got beat by the Bison. The coaches on the sideline got beat by NDSU. The fans in the crowd got beat by NDSU.
A clean sweep?
It's a clean
Pride of
sweep.
South Dakota got beat too.
SDSU lost in presenting the 50-year team. They didn't do that well enough, I don't think. So there you go. They didn't win.
I'll say this and tell me if this sounds familiar to recent weeks. They moved the ball some on offense. They picked up more yards offensively than the other team, but many miscues that the other team did not have led to them losing.
What game am I watching? Illinois State, Indiana State, UNI, NDSU, Cal Poly.
Not Illinois.
Not Cal Poly, actually.
They have gone from shooting themselves in the foot to the knee to the torso,
2 picks.
unfortunately. The defense, I think, played okay, but the offense put them in bad positions, and they had times they could have got stops. They didn't. They had some untimely penalties. They couldn't get into the end zone, missed field goals. I mean, it was a smorgasbord of bad things.
I'll say this. It will be interesting to see how these final 3 games play out, and how will this season be looked back on. Because remember last year
R.C. Kilgore made his name.
True. 5-6 last year. We heard about the guys on the team giving up. They weren't, committed at the end of the year. What is the story here at the end of the season? How do you explain playing this poorly when you're supposed to be at least decent? And they're not decent in any manner.
Well, I mean, they were picked only ahead of, I think it was Missouri State for the Missouri Valley Conference preseason.
They were like 6th or 7th.
No, they were like
6th or 7th.
4th.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they were. It was 4, 5, and 6 were close.
Trax was wrong. No,
I
they
go
were like
with
6th, 7th.
I go with Traxler.
Yeah.
About 6th.
Indiana State, Southern Illinois, and SDSU were all close, and SDSU led that group of 3.
Well,
regardless, they have not. Have not met expectations.
Regardless of who thought they were going to finish either 5th, 6th, or 7th in the preseason, they're going to end up finishing 7th, 8th, or 9th in the
regardless of whether they are who we thought they were or not.
Well, regardless,
they've struggled.
Regardless,
I think regardless has not been said enough.
Regardless, they let them off the hook.
They've played poor all year.
They have South Dakota State. They have an exciting redshirt freshman quarterback who will provide excitement for years to come. Their best receiver, their number 1 receiver, has not played football.
He's exciting.
He's exciting as well, making great one-handed catches. He has not played football in 5 years. And you look at the defense playing off 10 yards or so. NDSU dinking and dunking, picking up 7 yards of crack. Meanwhile, you look at North Dakota State, a solid quarterback, a solid running game, a solid defense, good special teams. They don't do anything spectacularly. They do everything very, very good.
Sounds like a winner.
Sounds like a winner to me, and they'll have a very good chance to knock off Northern Iowa next week, or this coming weekend in Fargo. And they seem to be one of the favorites here for the national title.
We should have previewed
at the FCS level. We will on Wednesday.
Sure.
Boom.
They'll fight for it for sure.
Good.
Who's number 1 right now?
Georgia Southern.
Well,
even though Paul Johnson isn't there
those
anymore.
teams got to fight for the right to be in the championship.
You're right. They have to earn it.
For other random musings of Marcus Traxler, check out the Collegian on newsstands all around this area.
Yeah. It'll be great. Another great issue.
Good. We will look at true and false now, and we will have a new panelist for once who will become a regular coming up next on the Sports Lounge.
I put my jacket on. It's kind of
Hey, take mine off. I'm starting to get sweaty.
And as promised, we have a different person on the set, somebody brand new.
Can we reveal on the camera?
Can we
reveal? Camera 2?
Cool.
Can we reveal that?
Oh, yeah, there's my people. Oh, my God. Look at that. Katie Lingle, introduce yourself. What do you got going on?
Well, I'm Katie Lingle.
Boom.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm on the women's basketball team. So first game's Sunday. You guys should check it out.
Boom. Against?
Moorhead. It's exhibition, but 2 o'clock, Frost Arena.
Tape the Vikings game and then go watch that and then come back and see them lose to Carolina.
Women's basketball preview
next
show?
week. Yes,
like that.
Very, very exciting. On later in the week, we decided to dust off true false again. So I'll start it off. College football. Oregon played Colorado this past weekend. Oregon won 45-2. True or false? Is it better to lose 45-0 or 45-2?
Wait, so which is true and which is false?
If you're going true, it's better to get shut out than to score 2 points. False. You would rather be 45-0.
I'm only going with true because I like nice round numbers.
Okay. Good.
That's literally the
Good.
only reason.
Okay. I would say that the 2 is
Hold
just,
your mic up
yeah,
to your...
Yeah, Gray Mike's back. I would say it's a little bit more embarrassing to lose, with the 2 on your side of the score, simply because, I would rather get shut out. Plus, usually the safety comes.
Why'd you say true then?
Well, wouldn't you? I don't know. Anyway, the safety usually
You're
comes
on a
in
roll.
some sort of rare form, like a black punt through the back of the end zone, or Oregon takes a safety intentionally and gives you the 2 points. Yeah. But
that'd be very shrewd of them.
I want to see
that would be shrewd of them.
I want to see
what
that
would be
play.
worse than 2? 4.
Yeah.
2 safeties.
That's awesome.
So-
That's a high achievement on Madden. I think you get a bunch of points for that one.
Nice.
So, did you see the halftime score of the Tampa Bay Chicago game? 14-5.
14-5. Yes, I enjoyed that.
Just saying. All right. Anyway.
Personally, I would always rather get some points as opposed to no points, because then when you look back in the annals of records, you can say, well, we went this many games without getting shut out then, and you're not getting shut out if you score, no matter how it is, and even if it's kind of a pity gimme safety.
Yes.
Exactly. Better to score points than not score at all.
Boom.
That's pretty basic logic.
I was looking through the history of the Dakota Marker game, and there were back-to-back years where it was 11-5. First SDSU won, then NDSU won. Now, looking at all those scores, 11-5 sticks out.
Yeah.
As opposed to 28-0.
I think you were looking at baseball.
I definitely was not. But
No?
I just want to see the box score, how they got 11 and how they got 5.
Talk to Sports Info. I bet they'd have.
I don't know anybody who works there, though.
No.
I don't either.
Our records don't go back past 99, so don't be looking to us for game-by-game stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right. You guys do good stuff then.
Okay.
All right.
Your turn.
My turn, so I don't need to sign.
Nope.
True or false? Albert Pujols' 5 for 6, 3 home run, 14 total base performance in Game 3 of the World Series was the greatest World Series performance of all time.
Of all time?
Offensive performance of all time.
Oh, you son.
Oh, jeez. That ruins what I was going to say.
Not the perfect game or the no-hitter.
Offensively,
Offensively.
I'll go one of these.
Oh, wow.
If you would have said,
We are all equally impressed.
if you would have said no, I would have said Jack Morris's Game 7 10-inning shutout is better than that.
Okay.
But offensively, he set the record for total bases in a World Series.
5 for 6.
He's second in the playoffs all time. Yeah,
3 home
third
runs
guy to hit 3 home runs.
combined, 8,000 feet. So.
Impressive. Yeah, I would go with him because he went 0 for 6 in the previous game.
And
Had an error.
And media all over him for his
Poor
performance in that cutoff throw, and then subsequently not making himself available to the media. People thought that was a bad decision, and he responded.
3 of those.
Yes.
Yeah, you could argue he definitely stood up and, wasn't accountable with media after Game 2. He was accountable with his play in Game 3. And the reason I say true is because I didn't see Babe Ruth play, and I didn't see Reggie Jackson
Babe
play.
Ruth did it twice.
So, by default, Albert Pujols, the greatest World Series. And I was literally 3 months old when Jack Morris threw the 10-inning shutout. So,
That was 2.
Needless to say,
That's
I don't
3.
remember that.
3.5.
And
3 and 3.
I don't
Albert-
think you need to. Why do you have to remember performance in order for it to count?
I'm just going by
It makes it better.
Okay.
It's just better.
You need to find some rationale, right? You got it.
The same reason people will say, well, this is the greatest team ever. Well, you never saw him play. How do you know? The 72 Dolphins undefeated. I never saw him play.
I don't know if they're the best team ever. I
They
never saw
sure
them play.
say they are, but I don't know.
I wasn't there.
They can't pop the champagne yet, though. Packers
No.
7-0.
Soon.
Soon, you think? I think so too.
Soon.
I'm in the same boat with Kriens. Is that I was going to say false because there have been a lot of impressive pitching performances, but since it's only offensive, I will go that Pujols 3 home runs in a World Series game, even against a team that's not great at pitching like Texas, is pretty impressive to me.
Marcus Drexler.
Okay.
Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, hi, I'm back. Mine is NFL related. Mine is NFL draft related. Mine is Minnesota
Really?
Vikings
NFL
related.
draft?
Hey, settle down.
Jeez.
That was a
7
long
months
way.
out.
We talk baseball.
No, it relates to this season, but the Minnesota Vikings will pick in the top 10 of next year's draft. So how do you think they're going to
1 and 6
record
right now, right?
They're 1 and 6
1 and
right
6
now.
right now.
Where do your allegiances lie for NFL?
My allegiances?
Yeah, your favorite NFL team.
Well, I mean, my dad likes the Vikings, so it's always
Okay.
been kind of my team, but
Okay.
it's hard to be a Vikings fan.
Yep.
I remember last year I said that I was rooting
And
for the
I-
Packers to win a Super Bowl because my dad was a Packers fan.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Everybody laughed at me.
Well, it's like,
Well,
Apparently, I'm the only person that doesn't root for my dad's team because he was a Browns fan, so I don't have any interest in the Browns.
Because he was a Browns fan.
the column in the Collegian this week touches on how you pick your favorite team.
Wow, look at that.
Is that a segue?
it's probably how your dad picks it.
Yes, that is true for me. I will say they will not have a top 10 pick, or they will have a top 10 pick.
Okay.
I think 4 games they're looking at 4 and 12. Yeah, that puts them right in there 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Well, as of right now, they'd be at what, 2, 3? Colts.
There's 3
Colts 0-7,
winless
and
teams.
There's 3
You
winless
got the
teams yet?
Dolphins and
I'm
the
sorry.
Rams.
Jeez.
So
There are a lot of bad teams this year.
Fourth.
A lot
Fourth or
of really
fifth.
bad teams. Okay. They end the year 4-12. They have the 8th or 9th pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think they will be in the top 10. I mean, they've only won 1 game. They're starting a rookie quarterback now.
Exactly.
Their defense is struggling. That's not a recipe for success this year. Maybe they'll be better next year.
You're not really worried about
they
it
will.
because you're gunning so hard for the Dolphins to get the number
Yeah,
one
I'm just
pick.
glad my Dolphins haven't won, so they can still get the number 1 pick in the draft. I mean, as long as the Rams are the. What if we have a 3-way tie?
That's gonna be awesome.
3-0 win teams. What,
They flip coins for it.
And that'll be a
I think so.
nationally televised coin flip. It has to be, right?
It better be.
How did you come up with the Dolphins as your favorite?
I honestly have wondered that many times. I'm not sure. My dad told me it was because I liked Ace Ventura when I was a little kid.
There we
and
go.
Marino was in it.
There we go.
So since I don't
Great
know
acting.
for sure, I guess I have to go with that.
I thought that was based on a true story. Acting, no, that's 100% true.
Tim Tebow reaction? Can we briefly?
No, we did before. Remember,
I'm sorry.
we did.
I got ahead of myself.
A couple segments ago. You want to revisit that again?
A couple segments ago?
Yeah, we did. Remember that?
Recapping Tebow's week 1?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
The magic of television.
Imagine that.
Katie
Spoiler
Lingle.
alert, we don't tape things in order.
Yes.
True, false?
True, false.
All right. Well, I thought it would be appropriate to ask, since
Oh,
this
wait.
is the 20th anniversary of the Twins World Series win
Yep.
in '91. Are the Twins? Are they? Well, I guess I should put it into a
True,
statement.
false.
The Twins will bounce back from this season and be over 500 next
Ooh.
season.
It's a tough one. Wow, I knew we'd be just brimming with cynicism here.
I was the guy that
I'm the
said,
only one here that's not a Twins fan, so I thought I was going to be the only one that would say false.
I was the guy that said, even in June, that they were going to come back and win the division. And they did go on a little run there, and it looked like it was going to be pretty good. But then, my God. Because we went through the names last week, the 35 players that played for him, and that was a scrappy bunch of people.
It was a ragtag group of
Misfits.
guys there. Yeah, they have a lot of holes to fill, a lot of question marks that they got to address, and they're kind of seeming to rely on just 1 or 2 more good years out of Morneau, and that's a big if. So first base is a big hole. They're going to lose Kadire. Closer, the bullpen's still a mess. Starting rotation, they need to add a couple guys. A lot of work needs to be done there.
Yeah.
I echo all of that. I think this is a team that's going to be in a swoon kind of for a while because they don't have much in the farm system. They got a catcher who knows what his health is, a first baseman who's even more uncertain health-wise, and the outfield is, I don't know what they're going to do. They haven't had a third baseman or shortstop that's legitimate for 10, 15 years now. So I don't know. I'm a cynic kind of when it comes to teams turning around, and it doesn't look good for the Twins. I want it to be, true, but I'm not liking the chances here.
Like we did with the sign.
I think they just kind of are void of talent right now, which in professional sports is a problem. And in baseball, compared to certain other sports, in basketball,
life, that's a problem.
You can have one great player like the Cavaliers did with LeBron James. In football, sometimes you can out-scheme and come up with schemes to help you out. But in baseball, if you don't have pitching and you don't have hitters, there's just not a lot you can do.
If Kadire leaves, which he probably will, and you have some sort of outfield of Revere, Span, and fill in the blank here.
Elman Young.
Yeah, fill in the blank here. Over under 20 home runs for that outfield.
Combined.
Yeah, since Kubo will probably be DH.
Wow.
How about that?
How about that?
I think they're going to pick up an outfielder in free agency.
But will he be any good?
I'm going to go under. I mean,
is,
Revere's going to hit none.
Yeah.
Span.
He'll hit it. If he plays next year, a good amount of time, he'll have an inside the park home run.
Maybe an inside the parker.
Absolutely.
Under. That's
It'll happen
absolutely
in Detroit.
Insane to me.
Insane to think.
That
Yes.
notion.
I'll say under because even if they pick up the only name that comes to mind here is Jeff Francoeur type guy. He'll hit 12 home runs, and then you're counting on those other two to get.
Span to hit 8 because Revere's not.
So
That's
20 home runs for that outfield potential trio looks like it's 80 home runs that
Yeah.
got hit.
I don't, Joe Benson? No, under. I'm going under. That's incredible.
It is.
Anyway.
Hildebrand.
Hildebrand.
I guess,
Somebody.
we can do all
Just do
sorts
the
of
old
fancy
card
trades. I had two. I'm gonna stick with the more fun one though. Clemson will be the Auburn of this year,
Undefeated.
not including now. If you want to go national title too, you don't have to, but just in general.
Wait.
they-
Are we talking about last year's Auburn?
Yeah, last year's
Because
Auburn.
I've been stuck on 2004
I'm still
Auburn.
stuck on 04 Auburn,
Yeah.
too.
I think they're going to be, if I can twist your
I
question,
mean, if
Wait,
you
wait,
want
wait,
to, you
what do
can
you
look
got?
at it that way too. I don't care.
they will be 04 Auburn. They will finish the season undefeated and
What
not
do you got?
get to the championship.
You think? They will not.
What's their tough game again? They got
Again,
one more.
Georgia Tech next week. They play Wake Forest. They
They're
play
at
at South Carolina. If
South
they
Carolina was a game
Get
I was
past
thinking of,
that. They have a ACC conference title game to go to.
Probably against Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I think they lose one. I mean, we have to factor in that Clemson's actually pretty good.
Good job.
I think
Good
now.
job.
Yeah, we do. Taj Boyd and whatnot, they make plays. But I think they lose one. South Carolina, Virginia Tech, those are very losable games. They don't do it. However, they have an excellent season. And good for them. Maybe they make the BCS Bowl. We'll see.
I've been on their bandwagon very early, as we mentioned.
I think you were on the bandwagon at first, sort of like jokingly, like, "Oh,
Well, no.
Clemson, here they
I
are,
said if
4-0,
they-
like every year."
You know, they had that impressive stretch there. They beat Florida State. And then I said if they beat Virginia Tech, they will win the national title. And I still hope
Still
that.
think in the back of your head, you're like, "There's no way."
No, that's what I thought. I didn't think Wake Forest would be as good. And I think they're going to be good, but I expect them to lose one of these games now. I hope they don't, but I think that they will.
I think it started out as a bit, and now he's riding it.
It was a bit.
No, it was
I
100%.
think it was.
No, because on the radio, who was I high on last year early on? Auburn, like when they were in the 15 to 20 range. I went to you, I
true, I
replayed
remember
it,
that.
said look out, dark horse national title, Auburn. And they won the whole thing.
Isn't that what you love about doing this show and doing
Yes.
radio and stuff? Everything you say.
We can look back,
documented.
say I said SDSU
said
was going to
this.
win 31-28, and they got their doors blown off. So
There we go.
Just for fun, I'm going to say Clemson will be undefeated and will play for the national title.
nice.
Wow. It's on tape.
Which is dramatically different than what I've been saying the last 5 weeks. But
Yeah, as early as last week, Hildebrand said, "I still think they'll finish like 9-3 or go out, 8-4." Ben?
not anymore. I
I
stand
believe you.
corrected, which probably means they'll lose 2
They'll lose
games
now.
now that I switch my mind. But
Yes.
He's covering his bases.
Good. Good. Cover your tomatoes. It's freezing now. So do that as well.
Not the past couple days. That was like last week.
It's coming. And coming up next, we will look at a white rapper in Vermillion and then talk about Brian Robison's kicking skills coming up next. If you did not go to Vermillion, and why would you on a Thursday night, you missed something pretty special. We'll roll the footage now and take a look at this concert. A gentleman got a bit too rowdy. First off, he takes off his shirt, and then you see the large gentleman there on the left come and give him the old shoulder knockdown. Very impressive.
Those white rappers, they get the crowd hyped
He
up.
was from Pittsburgh.
It's too bad it wasn't. I wish it was Snow. You guys know Snow? You know that one song?
know the,
that 90s
Precipitation,
hit. That 90s hit. That licky boom boom down.
Was that by him?
Was that the same guy? Was that Mac Miller?
Was that him?
Back? Was that the same guy? It was not Snow.
Okay.
All right. Production crew says it wasn't Snow.
No.
All right.
Have you ever seen anything that at a concert you've been to?
People run on the stage.
Somebody rush the stage?
I haven't seen that. I've seen some recreational drug usage.
Okay.
That's about the extent of craziness I've seen at concerts thus far.
So you went to, never mind. It's poor comment I was going to make.
Okay.
Poor
comment.
Poor decision.
Yeah, there's just nothing good going on in that video. Number one.
Oh, no, it's good when he gets
the
knocked.
quality's terrible.
Yeah, the quality is bad.
The quality's terrible.
There's a white rapper, and the guy runs up there, and
It's in Vermillion.
Right, exactly.
There we go.
And I don't know. It's just not good. Just
How
not
would
good.
you grade the form on the forearm shiver?
B.
A B.
B.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was not expecting that.
No, and I think that's what adds to the ambiance of it.
I'd only give it a B minus.
Where did it-
Ambiance.
The guy wasn't expecting it, but this is what I love. You know, a lot of people like it when people, you know, storm the field or do things like this because they like seeing, you know, them run away from security and the slow people from security chase them. I just love seeing them get laid out, though. I don't know why. I find that entertaining, though, because you're not supposed to do it. And I guess justice is served.
Has there ever been anybody rush the court unexpectedly?
You know, I don't think so.
Would you knock them out if they did run on the court?
Probably not.
Okay.
Why don't they have like a fast guy, whether it's an NFL game, Major League Baseball, this concept? This guy, you know, over the recommended weight, I would assume for his size.
Recommended weight.
The FCC, Federal Communications Commission.
They
regulate.
want you.
They regulate
want you
the weight.
under 190.
They do.
I believe is the.
Well, and obviously at these NFL games, they have guys in their 60s, and it takes a minute and a half to get these guys off the field. Get some guy that has some speed.
I agree. I don't know what's so hard.
I mean, they could take all the Raiders draft picks that have been busts and just have them be security guards.
Actually,
because they're all blazing fast.
Get Hayward Bay on
the guy in that video, you may not know it by looking at him, Jamarcus Russell.
Holy cow!
He's let himself go.
Wow. Wait,
That was him.
Russell was the guy who.
He was working security now.
Wow. Wow.
For Mac Miller.
What a fall! What a fall from grace, huh? Unbelievable.
Yeah. Speaking of falling, Robison, he fell, and he's laying on the ground here, Brian Robison from the Minnesota Vikings. And as you see here, he demonstrates his displeasure for Green Bay. And he kicks them where it's very difficult to see that video.
Yeah, it hurts to watch.
Hurts to watch. You saw it live, I assume.
I did. I saw it live. I kind of couldn't believe that Brian Robison, having such a great year, stoops to that level. At first, I thought it was Jared Allen because they showed the replay, and he's in 96 upside down, looks like 69, so I thought it was Jared Allen.
Thank you.
But it wasn't.
Thank you.
So,
96 upside
and I'm
down.
glad, I mean, not that I don't like Brian Robison, but I'm glad it wasn't Jared Allen because
Well,
I was positive Robison was going to get thrown out of the game, and he didn't. So I don't know how the refs distinguish what's worth being thrown out and what's not. But
He had the leverage. He had the angle.
he had a lot going for him.
I love this might be my favorite example of these instant replay technology that we now have in modern sports. Super slow-mo. You can just like see it closer, and then I think we know the rest.
Contact.
So highly entertaining. I mean, when it happened, my mouth was just agape.
Ooh.
I was just like, wow, that just happened. And I imagine there will be a fine levied.
Probably a large one.
I mean, maybe, a suspension too?
No, let's not go nuts here.
Why not?
Because
They've suspended for less, in my opinion.
people have killed for less.
Exactly. So that's why I think he should be suspended for a game. That was the epitome of dirty.
That was a clean shot.
Clean.
He saw it coming.
It was clean.
If you want to go behind the guy,
It was a clean shot. I mean, he got right up
in there,
all up in it.
all up in it.
And that's dirty play.
You played high school football. You ever sneak a little punch, rabbit punch in the pile?
I did some things that weren't legal. I never went towards the groin area. I think the worst I did was after the play, I grabbed a kid by the face mask. And threw him down
Did they catch you?
Actually, they did,
Yes.
surprisingly.
Very
But
good.
then I got a personal foul later for doing something much less offensive. I don't know, it was a long time ago. But the two things I think is, A, Robison shows his disdain for the Packers and their bad season so far. And, we're going to have to ask him about that on the radio the next time he calls in, then, I guess.
We should.
Because he's called into our radio show twice, right?
Yep.
That could be an interesting topic of conversation.
Wow.
Yes.
He's probably not going to want to talk about it.
Yeah, probably.
No, he would. He
I
would.
know, but maybe he wouldn't. He pays his fine. Maybe he wants to be done with it. I don't know.
I would love to ask him.
You should. You should like indirectly say.
Are you going to be the punter this week or something like
Or
that?
just say like, if you guys lose, will that just be one big kick to the crotch or what?
That's
your response.
Well, he's the guy that does like MMA training in the off season, right?
Is that part of his training?
Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Maybe
jiu-jitsu.
His mixed martial arts took over him at that.
Maybe he was saying, since we're losing, I might as well get some other practice in here right now while we're doing it. I don't know.
Yeah. Coming up later in the week here on the Sports Lounge, we'll preview South Dakota State women's basketball. They start their season off with an exhibition matchup this Sunday at Frost Arena, and then we'll also preview the football, and we'll touch more on the World Series as they probably good. Yes, tied at 2 now. Probably this is going 7.
I said Cardinals in 6.
You said 7.
I said 7.
It might be 7 now. Still think Cardinals though.
It felt 6 actually before Sunday's game, and now with Texas winning that,
back and forth, win lose.
I think we're looking at 7.
7.
I think I picked Rangers in 6.
I picked Rangers in 5. Right. I'm sticking with that.
You're sticking with Rangers in 5?
Rangers in 5.
Man, they better really play well in Game 5 then.
Yes. And here for your listening pleasure, some Mac Miller here on the Sports Lounge.
Wheels in the garage, but I ain't gonna need those, I'ma go hard. So Kool-Aid and frozen pizza, it's a work of art, I ain't talking Mona Lisa. Dream of rocking crowds, see me filling up arenas. This weed got me laughing like a damn hyena. Yeah, I live a life pretty similar to yours. Used to go to school, hang with friends and play sports. Every single summer taking trips to the shore. And that was all gravy, but I knew I wanted more. Ain't ever seen a young rapper like one. Can't believe they asked, swear it's just a mirage. Still got my training wheels in the garage, but I ain't gonna need those, I'ma go hard.
3-2, left side, and they turn 2. Out at second, got them both. Go ahead, Derek Holland, take us to break.
Texas Rangers come out with a nice double play to end the inning. You're watching Fox World Series baseball.
What's the score?
It's 2-0.